Alright guys, I'm really sorry that I forgot to do this video because this was actually Jimi Hendrix birthday. So apparently in 1970 Jim Hendrix died from an accidental death in Kingston, England in London. So apparently he was only 27 years old when he died. So apparently James Marshall or Jimi Hendrix was the second person to die in the 27th club. First was being Brian Jones, who was from the Rolling Stones, and secondly was Janis Joplin, who died weeks after Jimi died. So apparently, what I was actually just trying to say is that some singers from the 1960s died at just a really young age. So apparently it was Jim Hendrix's birthday, so apparently he was the singer. So Jim Hendrix was actually an African American and an Irish. So apparently Jimi was born on November 27, 1942 in Seattle. He was the first of Lucille's 5 children. In 1946, Johnny's parents changed his name to James Marshall Hendrix in honor of Al and his late brother Leon Marshall. So what happened to Jimi Hendrix? So apparently Jimi Hendrix was having a rough childhood. When he was young, his mother died on February 2nd, 1958, after her spleen ruptured. So apparently Lucille is Hendrix's mother. So apparently James and Leon went to attend their mother's funeral. But they gave them shots of whiskey and apparently it should just heal them with a loss. In 1958, when he was a teen, Hendrix completed his studies at Washington Junior High and began attending, but he did not graduate from Garfield High School in Seattle. So what really happened to Hendrix? I'm not going to go through all of this because this is going to be like really tiring thing, and apparently I'll just say this. On September 17, 1970, he was with Monica Daumann, who was a German figure skater and painter. She witnesses the final hours. At around 11 p.m., they shared a bottle of wine. And apparently, the next morning, Jimi was found dead at around 11:18 p.m. The ambulance arrived 9 minutes later, but Hendrix was pronounced dead on the scene after an alcohol overdose. So apparently, there's like bad. Sorry guys. sorry about this. I mean Bannister, not Jimi Hendrix. So apparently the paramedics transport Hendrix to St. Mary Abbott's Hospital, and John Bennett's sister was pronounced dead at around 12:45 on September 18th. So apparently on September 28th, Hendrix choked on his own vomit and died of asphyxia. He died of suffocation at just 27 years old. So apparently, Damon actually described that Hendrix had taken 9 of Damon's pills and was intoxicated with barbites. It caused him to have an open verdict, and Damon revealed that Hendrix has taken the Veripex sleeping pills 18 times the recommended dosage. Unfortunately, Jimi Hendrix was one of the famous singers that died at just 27 years old. This was referred to the 27th Club. So apparently, Hendrix was the second person to die, first being Brian Jones, second being Janis Joplin, and third being Jim Morrison, who died at 27 as well. So if you could see right here, the 27 Club is where people who are singers, actors, actresses, or any kind of occupation dies at 27 years old. So this one is actually referred to the 27 Club. So you could see right here, I was right after all because Hendrix actually died of aspiria while he was actually intoxicated with barbites. So barbites is actually a drug which is very dangerous and it is banned in the country, including Southeast Asia. So I recommend you guys to stay away from all of this. Don't end up like Hendrix did because the consequences is you're gonna end up dying at just a young age. Like I was saying, for example, Kate Moon overdosed on hemavirin and died at just 32 years old. This is another example why you shouldn't take pills. And also for Janis Joplin. So apparently Janis Joplin actually inhaled on heroin and died at 27 years old, just like Jimi Hendrix. Apparently both of them died in 1970. So in September, Jimi Hendrix died and Janis died in October. So guys, this is just an example to give you if you want to be a famous musician, if you want to be like anything you want. Just a reminder for you guys, please don't take drugs. Stay away from drugs. It's very dangerous. And drugs are banned in this country, including Southeast Asia. I know many people take drugs, and also just be careful with medicine. Always read the instructions first. Don't try to overdose these things at once. Otherwise, you could end up dead like Keith Moon or Janis Joplin or any kind of singers that died. So I'm gonna have to say this. Happy heavenly birthday to Jimi Hendrix, and also rest in peace, Jimi Hendrix. Thank you for your songs and thank you for your hard work from the past. Rest in peace, Jimi Hendrix.